I think because we follow a lot of people that are very good at it, we just basically copy what they do.
So your Instagram is full of photos of you in amazing places. Is there a most Instagrammable place you've ever been?
Oh, wow. That's a class one. Obviously, I've already mentioned Venice Beach is incredibly Instagrammable. The way the sun sets, you've obviously got like the skate parks, you've got the beach there. That is like definition of Instagram friendly is Venice Beach, but it's not what I would describe as my favorite sort of Instagram place. Milan is quite Instagram friendly because you've got all the history there, same way as like Barcelona I found to be quite Instagrammable. But I'll stick with New York as the most Instagrammable place that I've ever been to, particularly, you know, on top of like the Rockefeller or on top of anywhere that's got that view of sunset downtown. 100%, I think New York for me is probably the most Instagrammable place, but maybe that's just because I'm from London. I reckon loads of Americans would say that London is really Instagrammable with like the history and the rivers and stuff.
Yeah, you got some great shots in Budapest though. I particularly like the one of you outside the graffiti of the football. What was that like? Did you go on a graffiti street art tour?
No, literally just was. Man, I was literally walking down a road, and that was a car park. It wasn't even like it was an anything. It was just a car park with this like unbelievable mural of was it? I can't remember the Instagram post. Is it Schindler?
I can't exactly remember. I think it's when Hungary beat England in some sort.
Yeah, it's the Wonder Team. I think it's the Wonder Team, and yeah, I was just like, oh my God, look at this photo, look at this piece of work. Chloe obviously didn't have a clue what it was, but yeah, Budapest is unreal, but like, especially like bars and stuff, it's definitely Instagrammable, but it's more of a cultural, I know that people go there for the piss up and stuff and the stag do, but I went with my girlfriend and I found it to be quite, maybe it's just the way we experienced it, a little bit more historic than just bars and ruined bars left, right, center. We obviously did them as well, but there's a lot more to Budapest than I think people give it credit to because it's got that stag do reputation.
Absolutely, man. Have you done much of Eastern Europe?
Where have I been? Russia, Hungary. That's probably just about it. I've done, I mean, I won't class like, I suppose you could class it, but like parts of Germany as quite Eastern European. I found Berlin to be quite Eastern European-y. And like I didn't really enjoy Berlin when I was there. Maybe I was a little bit too young, so obviously I didn't go for like the techno scene that I probably should have gone for. But I went when I was still at school. And when I was at school, I remember thinking to myself, wow, this is really sort of Eastern Blocky, very cement, square, up and down, not an awfully pretty place. But I'm sure if I went again now with the hindsight, with like a little bit more experience of traveling and just being a bit more adult, I think I'll probably think it's like really pretty because loads of people go there and they're like, oh, Berlin's amazing. And obviously it's got like techno nightlife and stuff like that I've just not experienced in Eastern Europe.
Yeah. And just moving back to your Instagram, because I'm not quite done yet picking your brains. You've got, I'd say, one of the most model-centric, amazingly, the photographs you take and the photographs your girlfriend takes of you are really cool. Give us some insight. How do you do it?
Oh my God. Do you know what? We always try and take really good photos when we're of each other when we're on holiday. And I think the reason is that because the other person takes good photos, if you take a shit one, you either feel bad or you're like, oh, I could have done better. I don't know what it is, but we always like to take nice photos of each other when we're out there, nice photos together. But it doesn't usually take very long. It's not like we've got like ring lights and stuff like that. It's literally just an iPhone, like that. And then one of us looks at it and is like, that's rubbish.
Yeah.
Let's just change angle. It's not like we've got like setups and stuff. It's just, I think because we follow a lot of people that are very good at it, we just basically copy what they do. But it's all about the lighting, man. That's the number one tip. It's all about the lighting. Always face the sun.
Yes. Oh, it's something I absolutely hammer on about whenever I take a photo of my girlfriend or any family members. I'm like,
100%, because
what
there's
are you
nothing worse,
doing?
is there? There's nothing worse, is there, than when you give your phone to a stranger and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, can you just take a quick photo? And you get back and you're like,
Oh,
dog.
yeah. And they only take one as well.
Oh my God, I've got to do it right. So even when people like pass me their phone, strangers, I'll be like taking like 30 photos. You've got to do it like that.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're the same.
100%.
It's like, so when it's your girlfriend asking you to do it, then you've got to do it even better. So yeah, I think that's like hilarious. The amount we take, it's so funny, but equally, like, it is what it is. I just enjoy doing it.
Yeah, and obviously from being an influencer, I don't know if you like that term, but
definitely don't.
Yeah, I'm going to call you it. From being an influencer, okay, you obviously have to kind of pack out your Instagram for weeks to come. And like, let's say, for example, your trip to Edinburgh that you did this year.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that you're kind of taking photos, and are you holding certain ones back, knowing that, okay, in the future, I'm going to use this in like weeks to come to keep my Instagram ticking over?
Not really, to be fair. I just take photos when I think it's like a cool background, or I like the outfit I'm wearing that day. I like the two general rules of thumb of when I'll take a photo. But equally, I like to post once a day. I don't even know if that's good for the algorithm. I just like hate it when people post like 8 times a day. It's just like, I'm following you. So I post once a day just to keep it ticking over. And if I've got more photos, say when we went to Edinburgh, we went to like 3 or 4 different locations and I just took some photos, or Chloe took photos of me at those locations. I don't want to spam people by posting them all in one day. So I just like save it as a draft and then post it the next day, or in a week's time if I've forgotten to post it. But there's no like plan. I just do one post a day, and then if it's a draft and I keep forgetting about it, I will do it the day I have nothing else to post.
Yeah. Nice, man. A little bit of insight into how you've grown your following. I like it.
Yeah. Well, I don't really have that big a following, to be fair. I don't really know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm just guessing and doing like, I do like 10 stories in one post. That's like my goal for the day, because otherwise I just feel like I've accomplished nothing.
Every day, 10 stories?
10 stories, I'd say. Like 8 to 10 stories a day, and then one post. And the post is, my post is usually something around either like football, fashion, or like somewhere I've been or something I've done or something like that. And then my stories is more sort of like shared posts than that.
Yeah. Because obviously fashion's a massive part of your life. I know that you love buying designer clothes, a lot of vintage clothes as well. Is there a particular place that you've been where the fashion of the city has stood out? And it can be London as well.
Really good question. Yeah, obviously London for sure. Like especially in Soho, incredible there. Some of the outfits you see are just mad. And I really like people who have their own sort of individualistic style and like, don't really care how other people dress. I think that's class. Milan. Particularly, you see a lot of cool people in Milan, a lot of people that are dressed to the nines, like in proper designer gear. Like when you call my designer gear there, it's like my designer gear is like 30, 40 quid for a t-shirt. Like theirs is probably like 400. So I think, Milan's up there. Obviously LA, but only in certain parts of LA. And then New York too. New York, particularly in Chinatown. I thought there was some really like cool people in New York's Chinatown, but London, I'll give it London. I think London takes the biscuit just because there's such a culturally diverse city. I think you see so many different types of style, be it like streetwear or high-end fashion or whatever. I think you see so many different types of fashion that it's really interesting in London.